My name is Marcus Ashdown. I'm the administrator at Golden Acres. I've been here since 2023. Why I got into the nursing home industry was during the pandemic, in the heat of the pandemic, and before that I was in a completely different industry, and it was valuable, and I certainly saw value, but I saw so much need in the care that we give in the nursing homes. And so through a friend, I was introduced to an opportunity to be able to help more, and jumped into the nursing home industry, where I have kind of focused on making sure that especially the caregivers have what they need to provide the best care to the residents that we care for. Golden Acres has been in partnership with Custom Care Hospice since Custom Care began, and long before I was the administrator here. I have been working personally with Custom Care since 2022 and have always been the hospice provider of choice, not just because of a partnership, but because of the care that they provide. There have been times where there's been concerns, because there always is concerns in giving care, but when there's always a solution. There's a prompt solution, there's communication, and that's something that I've always respected. In a nursing home, we've got residents who are at different stages of what type of care they need, and one of the most sensitive stages is the final one, where they are in a state where they've been declining, and they're near the end of their stay here on this earth. And it is in those moments that both the resident themselves as well as their family members are the most vulnerable, because it's a situation they may have witnessed but have never experienced before. And so in those moments, it is essential to have someone to guide that conversation and the needs of how care will change, how it will stay the same in some ways whenever hospice is introduced, but how it will also change and what the focus will be and what it means to sign up for hospice, because there's a lot of misconceptions out in the community of what that means. And so having a strong hospice partner in giving care it makes my job so much easier, because I've had many of those conversations with family members who are scared and confused and hesitant or even resistant to get into that level of care because of maybe what they understand. And so having someone be able to have kind of a gentle touch in providing answers to those fears, that makes all the sense in the world, not only from the nursing home side, but especially to the residents and the family members. And I've seen that conversation really change just the way that we're able to provide 24/7 care, because they understand the purpose and the why, and there are no concerns because of that communication. That's the biggest part. When we have folks that are signing up for hospice, and sometimes they're able to confidently go into that level of care, and at other times there is a concern there, whether it be a misconception from a past experience or a bad experience in the past. What I always tell a resident or a resident family member that is struggling with making that decision is to ask a lot of questions and to find someone that they trust. Whenever they're asking me, who to turn to get answers, that's the reason why I typically will refer them to Custom Care, because that level of trust. It really comes down to the partnership. That is the thing that matters the most to everyone. The nursing home, the residents, the hospice company, it is really a three-way relationship that is important on all three sides. It's kind of like a three-legged stool, and you take one of those legs out and the whole thing trembles. And so the number one thing that I love about Custom Care Hospice is they not only in a sense are our business, our sister company, but they treat us as partners. They communicate with us as partners. I will reach out to Lacey for advice. Sometimes it's not even having to do with hospice. Sometimes it's having to do with someone that she knows in the industry and has experience with, or a concern with a relationship at the hospital, or a potential referral that's not even on hospice but might become hospice. And so being that partner is the difference maker with Custom Care Hospice, and is the reason why we'll continue to be their partner for many years to come.